Hey everyone, in this series of videos, we're going to go over correlation. So here we go. Let's start with this. When it comes to correlation, we use that for association type research questions. And when it comes to the data, they can either be ordinal or they could be interval or ratio. And on this page here, we have a few marketing examples. It could be that we're interested in finding out the relationship between the amount of a store's social media advertising on Friday and weekend store sales. One might think that if you're advertising on a Friday about something happening in the weekend, that might have an effect on store sales, right? So that's an example right there. And then the next one is, okay, does the font size for a website promotional discount affect online sales? We don't know, right? Well, like that's what we're asking and we'll have to gather data to see if there is a correlation. And then next one is sales rep experience and sales rep productivity. Well, there are many different possibilities there also, right? So correlation analysis looks at the association between two variables. Now, going back to the sales rep experience and sales productivity, I have four different graphs here. And this first one here, or before I get to that, we have four different scatter plots more specifically. And a scatter plot is something that plots two different variables at the same time. And in this case, those two variables are sales and years of experience. All right, so with that background information, let's look at A over here. This one is what we would call a positive linear relationship. And actually, let's do something fancy. Let's make it red so it could stand out a little more. Okay, there we go. So in looking at this, that might make sense, right? So the more years of experience, the more years of experience a sales rep has, so each dot represents a sales rep. So say this one right here would be about 13 years, and then whatever level of sales right there. So in this positive linear relationship, we can kind of generally see a straight line going up so that as years of experience increase, so does the amount of sales. So that makes sense in many contexts, right? Because as you gain more confidence and gain more clients, your sales are going to go up. But it's also possible that this could be the relationship. It could be a straightish line going the other way. So this one is what we would call a negative linear relationship. Let's just do that negative linear relationship. So in this case, well, it could be that as you're at a place so many years that, as you get older or as you're there for so many years, that you're just over it, right? Like you're just burnt out or you just don't have as much energy. And so that might affect your level of sales. But then yet another possibility is C right here. So in this case, this is not linear because it kind of goes up, but then kind of levels off and then goes down and then up again and then maybe down. So in this case, yeah, there's a relationship here, but it's non-linear. Non-linear relationship. And this is just one example of a non-linear relationship because it could go the other way also, or it could go this way or that way. So this is just one example. The main point here is that it doesn't follow this positive linear or negative linear relationship pattern. And then part D right here, well, there's just no relationship. The dots are just kind of all over the place. Now, going back to nonlinear relationships, or actually I'm getting ahead of myself. When it comes to correlation, we usually think about linear relationships. So let's say that. All right, so now let's go back to this concept of non-linear relationships. Non-linear relationships non-linear relationships can be either monotonic or non-monotonic. The line representing a monotonic relationship always trends in the same direction. It never makes a U-turn. So when you look at A over here, this is monotonic because it goes in one direction. Yeah, it goes up and then levels off a little, but then it goes up again. So it's going in the same general direction, and the same thing goes for B. So let's put that here. This is monotonic. And so is this one. But then when you look at this one, it has a U-turn. Actually, it has two. So here's the first one, here's the second one. So this one would be non-monotonic. When it comes to a linear relationship, it's always monotonic. The specific correlation test required for an association research question depends on the levels of measurement of the variables being correlated. Because remember, I said it could be ordinal, it could be interval, or it could be ratio. And one that you might be most familiar with in your other statistics courses would be the Pearson correlation, right? And so, yeah, in the next video, let's go over the correlation for ordinal variables.